Hey, soul seekers, it is intuitive energy guide, clairvoyant, and source energy channel. Cathy Weiss here. Welcome to this week's episode of Monday Messages. Oh, fabulous soul tribe. There is so much great stuff that we have going on today. And first of all, I have brought back the Mad as a Hatter teacup hat all for the month of July. So if you have never watched Monday Messages where this guy shows up, let me tell you all about it. Every Monday morning, so you have the opportunity to shout out and have your name thrown in this teacup hat for a chance to win a free live reading. And I'm going to pull a name from that in just a couple minutes. But first, I wanted to start off by showing you, I think this is maybe at the bottom of camera. If anybody's watching live, you can let me know because, I get all the notifications down here. But just right down at the bottom of the camera, I have this crystal that was part of this week's Monday morning energy charge up. And so if you're not familiar with that, lately every Monday on both Facebook and Instagram, I've been taking a photograph of the crystal energy grid that I make for myself and throw it out there for you to comment on which one you're drawn to. And then I let you know what energy is supporting you for the week. And what's interesting is that this week, this bad boy has been like, I think almost every person except for maybe one or two has been really drawn to this one. And it's making me so happy because this is called Joy Aura. It's clear-ish with that kind of beautiful yellow tint. And this is all about joy rising. And I can feel that for me and for you guys. And there's a lot of awesome things happening in relationship to the universal energy. I'm going to do a quick recap if you haven't been following along the last few weeks. All during the month of June 2019, we have been sitting in a really intense energy of change. Like the first couple of weeks, I was calling it intensity like 11 out of 12. And then we kind of went down to a 7 or an 8. Now that we're in July, this energy of change is going to continue with us all the way through like the end of November. So we've still got about 5 more months of change, but this is going to be more of like the after effects or what happens now from that energy of change. And this is happening for me and for you guys and all of us. And there's not a lot I can tell you yet, but just know Joy Rising is kind of brewing up in the background here in a really good way. So first of all, I want to talk about your collective or the collective energy for all of us in relationship to that energy from June, because basically people are going to be feeling it in one of two ways. Some of us were sitting in the change and feeling it like pour in all during the month of June, which leaves us now this morning a little bit tired, a little bit depleted, or a little bit anxious about the now what. And then some of us are feeling it more like a shock wave. Well, we weren't really in it, but now all of a sudden this like boom, energy has hit us. And these people are actually feeling really energized and really stoked right now, and like really excited. And they're kind of riding this up. So know that whichever way you're feeling right now is totally valid. And it might be smart to reach out to me and have a one-on-one session where I can read your energy and help you navigate the changes that are happening over the next 6 months. Even if you're in this, like, yeah, I'm really excited and I'm really high, that can be hard to sustain unless you've got a wise plan. And even if you have a wise plan, it can be hard to sustain that sort of momentum. So you might want to shout out to me and sit down and have a session, because while the next 5 months are going to be awesome, I think I can kind of see like a bumpy path, if that makes sense, where some of it's going to be a little bit challenging for us in a I'm not getting a real clear picture yet, but it's going to a little bit bumpy. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a channeled message for everyone, and then I'm going to pull a winner for today's free live reading. So I've got a couple more good things in relationship to that energy of change. What I talked about last week was trust, and I wrote about it in my newsletter. Hey, if you don't get my newsletter, I have a follow-up written message for you guys that comes behind trust. So if you want to get on my list, just shoot me a comment or a private message and I'll make sure to add you so you can get the next bit of information. But what I have written down in, by the way, guys, book 2 of 2019 messages, because there's just been so much info for us. But what I have written down, I wrote this about a week ago, and it was really lovely that I just kind of like opened my eyes to it this morning and knew that this was for today. It says, the time has come for a shift beyond esoteric thinking into action. So that energy of change for a lot of us had us up here in our brains, but now it's time to take action. And that's why I'm recommending you get some support with me if you need it, because sometimes the action can be the tricky part. It says the time has come for more deliberate ways of being. The time has come for all of us to take the information and apply it, right? You guys are soul seekers. You're always seeking out new and interesting ways to improve your life or to understand your life's purpose and to really be on that journey. But what this message is about is it's time to stop consuming information and start applying the information, start taking action, okay? Because at some point, it says at some point you have to pause in the consumption of more and more and more and get into some intuitive awareness and take the knowledge of the things that you have been taught and the things that you have learned and sit still for a moment and digest. If I could recommend anything for this week, July 1st, 2019, this week, just stop consuming more, sit still, sit back, and start to digest that information and like sift through and pick out the pieces that are really valuable and meaningful for you and let the other stuff simmer. I'm not going to say discard it because it's quite possible that later some of that knowledge and wisdom will be helpful to you. But for right now, don't add any more, but really start to think about all the things you already know and start to find the things that you can apply to your life. Let me pop back into the notes here. Yes, you need to start asking, like, does this work for me? And then start applying the things that does. Okay. Okay, that was like the last bit of the information is like as you're digesting to make sure you're asking, does this work? Awesome, use it. Does it not work? Fine, don't use it, but don't forget about it or throw it out because later something might happen where you're going to need that info. But let's get a winner for today's free live reading. And in the past, I have written down mini readings before I pull a name. Today, I did not. And that was because, again, of that sort of mix of energy around the change. And I was feeling really guided to wait until I pulled a name. And even if this isn't your name that comes out of my teacup hat, stick around because there's going to be some information snuck in there for anybody who's watching, whether you're watching live or later. Okay, and I have to do the whole like my eyes are closed thing, and I wrote them on smaller papers today. Hang on, they're like kind of wanting to be sticky. Here it is. All right, today's winner is Alicia. Congratulations, Alicia. Thank you for shouting out, by the way. I have to tell you guys, honestly, I love doing the readings for you, but I have a sneaky, like, I just love doing the readings. And so I'm always excited when people shout out for their chance to win. So give me 1 second, guys, because I haven't actually read the energy yet, and I just want to make sure that I'm tuning into Alicia. Okay, so Alicia, you feel to me more like the first example I gave at the top of the video about being really tired, like you were in the energy of change all during the month of June, and now it's July 1st, and you're like, why is it like this beautiful, gorgeous summer day and all I want to do is crawl into bed and take a nap? Well, that's why, is because there was so much intense energy that you're tired. That's natural and it's normal and there's nothing wrong with it. So the number one thing that I could say to you right now is take that nap, sister. There's nothing wrong with it. And if you feel like, oh, I can't go lay down in bed and take a nap, then like pull out a lounge chair because the weather is so nice. Sit in the shade, by the way, because if you fall asleep in the sun and get a sunburn, that's gonna like be a total bummer, right? So if you, like Alicia, are feeling this like kind of exhaustion right now, just it's all good, guys. Go take a nap or go take a weekend off or scale. We have a holiday coming up in the United States, so if that applies to you, maybe scale back on your festivities and have like something a little bit more chill going on. It's okay to rest when we've been taking in a lot of information. We get tired mentally more than physically, and you need to sleep to rest your mind as much as you need to sleep to rest your body. So what I'm hearing for you, Alicia, and anyone who's feeling that way, is that sleep is your friend right now, and it's okay to say no to obligations so that you can get a little bit more rest. And that will renew you and help you slide into the action that you're going to need to take in the next few months. So let's get an oracle card. And I was kind of 50-50 on whose deck we were going to use based on who came out of the teacup hat today. So I'm leaning towards the spirit animal deck for today's reading. Let me pop those out and give them a shuffle. I was using them earlier this morning with a client, so I want to make sure to get you guys some fresh energy. Here we go. And if anybody who's watching live wants to comment on where I pull the card out from, even though I'm reading for Alicia, if anybody's watching live and you want to tell me if I should pull from the top, the middle, or the bottom, you are welcome to. I'm actually hearing, oh, that was interesting. So that little snippet for Alicia, that was like, that was it. And then we're going back to Universal on the card draw. So this is really for anybody who's watching live. So top, middle, bottom. I'm kind of seeing this natural break right here. I'm going to lean towards that unless I see a comment pop up. And you know, there's always kind of that delay, so it never fails that, oh, I see it. Lori says about 1/3 down, so I'll pop up a little bit for you, Lori, because it came through. Yeah, because sometimes the comments have a delay, so by the time I've actually pulled the card, then the comment shows up. But here we go. Ooh, moth spirit. And I got all ooh and excited because the color of this card just jumped out at me. Look at that color, like super vibrant red. And moth spirit says surrender now. And when I think about, yeah, right? When I think about the energy of being tired from all of that change, is what blue, sister? Tell me what you think is blue, Lori, because this is like all red and gold. But yeah. So anyway, surrender to the sleep. Guys, I don't know why we have this concept in our society that being tired is a negative and we should push through and blah blah blah. Like it's just a part of being human. Like our bodies need to rest, and tired, you're wishing it was blue. And being tired is a signal that we need to sleep. That's all. So, like, surrender into tiredness and welcome it. Sometimes I kind of get excited when I'm going to go take a nap because I feel like if I'm sleeping, I have an excuse for all the things I didn't do. Like, oh, that extra load of laundry didn't get done because I was asleep. And like, it's kind of like the ultimate excuse if you, have some things you don't want to get done. Here we go. Let's check out what the guidebook says. It's the first time I've pulled Moth Spirit out of this deck. So I'm kind of curious to see what the message about surrendering is all about. Here we go. It's nice and short, so stick with me for just another moment. Moth Spirit asks, what is guiding you right now? Are you in alignment with Spirit or pushing something or someone with so much tenacity that it has become a compulsion or an addiction? Are you so intoxicated by a potential relationship or opportunity that you can't think straight? So Lori says society rewards us for being overly busy when we should be responding to our bodies and resting so we can be 100%. There is a wise woman right there. And by the way, F society, because honoring and respecting our bodies is a part of how we live a soul-centered life. And honoring and respecting our bodies is how we create more joy in our life. So can we just swing back and tie it around to this awesome joy aura crystal? Because if you're someone who's looking for more joy and you're looking for healing your joy, Jade, the queen of napping, can we have five, sister? Because I love me a good nap too. The thing is, you cannot live a life full of joy if you're exhausted all the time. Now, you can get little snippets of it here and there, but they're going to be adrenaline fueled, and there's going to be a bigger crash and letdown than the joy that comes from having a body that is well cared for. And sleep is a vital part of a well cared for body. It's really fascinating how this is turning into a message about sleep, and that ties into the written channeled message that's in today's newsletter. So like I said, if you don't get my newsletter and you want to get that message, shoot me your email address in a private message and I'll take care of that for you. So I'm hearing we're going to wrap up today with this little tiny bit of message. I'm channeling it right now, so just bear with me as I go a little bit slow. So joy is rising for all of us. And there is a pathway to joy that is unique for all of us. And many of us need to heal a piece within us that was in some way harmed, that caused us to disconnect from our joy. There's going to be more behind this, but that was the sentence that needed to be said today. And know that a little bit more is coming. So, guys, if that resonated with you, like a sense of disconnection from your joy, or a sense of a hurt heart, like a heart that's aching for joy, like let's heal that for you. There's so many ways that I can express my gifts as a healer and a intuitive and a clairvoyant and a source energy guide and all those things. But healing and bringing joy back to your life is absolutely one of my fortes. And I would love to be able to do that for you. So you can comment here or private message me, and we can get you on a path to a life that is full of joy in your heart. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you watch live or later. I am going to be back next week with another free live intuitive reading and another episode of Monday Messages. So come on back and see me next week. You guys are awesome. I love you. Namaste.